Perfect. Welcome to United Astronomy Clubs of New Jersey. Uh, you guys are here camping up here in Jenny Jump State Park in Hope, New Jersey, and welcome. So, we're doing a special presentation tonight. Ken is going to be doing his Astronomy for Beginners talk. A couple things. You guys walked up here, so you don't need to worry about headlights, but you might want to know where the bathroom is. The bathroom is the porta potty in back. It is big, it is blue, it is illuminated by red for ease of finding in the dark. Because it is a state park, as you've probably noticed, it is quite dark. Speaking of the dark, any flashlights we may be using to move around, I do ask that you try and keep those pointed towards the ground, just because it's no fun to get blinded by the latest, greatest 100,000 lumen monstrosity from Amazon. Been there, done that. Let's not inflict that upon others. We do have, later after the presentation, a number of observatories open with scopes. I think the roofs are still closed currently because we have cloud cover, and visual scopes not so great looking through clouds. We also have a couple of our volunteers have their own telescopes. Some have astrophotography up. Feel free to ask any of our volunteers any questions you might have. And with that, we're going to get into tonight's presentation. Ken Taylor has nearly a decade of experience as an amateur astronomer and an astrophotographer. His astronomy photographs have been featured in editions of our UAC&J calendar. Ken is a member of Northwest Jersey Amateur Astronomers in Blairstown and enjoys having fun while entertaining all those who want to know a little bit more about astronomy. And here's Ken.
All right, guys, please be aware that what we have, oh my, this is quite loud. Oops, that's not loud. We have a camera going, so we're live feeding online. So, again, welcome to UAC&J. We're going to get started so we can get through this quick and get you as fast as possible to a telescope. Now it's okay. Thank you, Chris. All right, so obviously I took a picture off of online for you guys. Astronomy for beginners. As a young boy, and even as a young lady, you might have actually looked up into the stars and wondered what you were going to look at and what you could see and what you actually see in magazines and all that. As I just told you, yes, they're in space, but a lot of the pictures, again, as I've already explained, is long-term, long exposure type pictures. Keeping an open mind when you are looking at them, because there's lots of stuff to learn about as far as astronomy is concerned. A little bit further away. You might like looking at the sun. Only look at the sun with a specially equipped either binoculars or telescope, because as soon as you look at the sun through a telescope or even with a pair of binoculars, I'm sorry to tell you, you'll be blind in less than a half a second for the rest of your life. So just know that. Maybe you might be interested in our planets. So we've had a couple people say Mars, Jupiter, Saturn here in our audience that have actually seen them. Since we're going to be talking about the planets, how long does it take Earth to go around the sun one time? First hand up. 1 year, 365 days. Okay. So, any guesses as far as other planets? How long do you think Saturn, or let's do this. How about Pluto? Pluto, as astronomers, is still a planet. I learned it as a planet. It's the 9th planet. How long does it take to go around the sun one time? 20-something? Okay. Any other guesses? Please. 5 years? Okay. Guess what? Wrong. Both. If you look right here at Pluto, right here is 90,553 days. I've converted that into years down here. And yes, Pluto's, but it's 248 years for it to go around the sun one time. Saturn, we'll look over here, 29 and a half years. So Saturn, or Pluto, was discovered in the 1930s. It hasn't made it even a quarter time around its rotation. Not even a quarter, not even an inch, if we'll call it. It was classified as a planet in 1930, I believe, too, and now here it is, 2025. It was demoted to a dwarf planet. Look at this. That's Mercury. It's not the moon, but look, it has craters on it also. That's our moon, and that's Venus. And yes, we can see Venus through our telescopes, but not like this. We can see it when it does look like the moon, with it partially blocked by the shadow, or where it is in its rotation around the sun. So, but why don't I have a picture of Earth? Why? Go ahead. Okay, well, look down and you see Earth. Right there. Son of a gun. Yeah, we can't take pictures here on Earth of Earth. We have to be in outer space. We're not even, unless you're on the moon, you're not going to see the whole planet. Mars. This is a little bit outdated yet, but yes, Mars has 2 moons. Jupiter has 92 moons. I'm sorry to tell you, but that is outdated. It has over 120 moons. Because of our space telescopes, we're able to see these things flying around as big as a small mountain. And those are moons of Jupiter, so that's why it has much, much more. My favorite, Saturn. Right now, Saturn is edge on. Again, depending on where we are and where it is in its rotation, determines if we can see the separation between the rings and the planet. In about another 3 years, you'll start seeing it a little bit tilted. What are we looking at? We're looking at what's that? Nope. That's actually Mars. Oh my God. And you were going to say it too. Yes. You guys got to speak louder. I'm hard of hearing.
If the moon of Saturn is larger than Mercury,
why isn't it? Because it's not orbiting the sun, it's orbiting Saturn. Okay? But, see here? See here? What are those? Please, and loud. Ice. Those are the 2 polar areas of Mars. What is this? Scream it out. Go ahead. You. Jupiter, exactly. Now, what is this? Any idea? New person. That's what? Nope, not a storm. Go ahead. Nope. Nope. We're going to have to either take a piece on the ground and we'll go from there. Actually, you've heard of the Aurora Borealis here on Earth, which is that is the Aurora Borealis on Jupiter. It has poles, therefore it does have a magnetic field, and that's the Aurora Borealis on Jupiter. Neptune. Here is Pluto. Pluto's got 5 moons. believe it or not. And Neptune, 13. I would show you this, but it wouldn't show up well on the screen. I'm not hooked up to the internet. But look on the internet about planet-sized video and large named stars. You'll be amazed at how small our sun is in comparison to some of the larger stars that are within our universe, within our absolutely universe, that are close by to us that we can see. Oops. Maybe you like comets. We already said some people have already seen the comet. There's two of them, Lemon and Atlas. End results are you might be into. You can see those too. Galaxies. We can see galaxies. In this particular case, these two galaxies are barely visible with the naked eye. That's a long exposure. One of my absolute favorites. What we're looking at is a galaxy swallowing another galaxy. And the thing about this, and I'll explain right here, Whirlpool Galaxy is 30,000 light years away. The one thing I like to demonstrate to people about light speed from our sun. Let's make believe the sun is like a light bulb out over our heads. I just turned it on. Why isn't it dark here? Why is it not light here immediately like you turn on your light in your bedroom? Please. Right here, smart one. It takes time for the light to come off of our sun, just like, and I'm not going to squirt anybody, just like water from a squirt gun. This is the sun. That's sunlight. Now it hit the ground. So, the light that this person took when they took that picture, and I don't know why it moved, when they took this last picture, that picture was taken 10 years ago. Guess what? The light that he took a picture of came off of that galaxy 30,000 years ago. Just like the light from our sun that takes 8.5 minutes to reach us, the light that came off and was captured by that photographer, that light was traveling through space for 30,000 years. Dinosaur time. So, we'll get to another picture that I like to show people. This is a globular star cluster. Jim, I'm going to make a wild guess at it. And that's 101. 13. It is 13? Okay. M13. Look them up on your phones when you get a chance. And look up the individual M13. 1, 2, 3. There's 110. M stands for Mercier. Charles Mercier discovered 110 objects in space, okay, and he made up a coordinate system that we use today to actually find those and map them out properly, and we've gotten better at it. We'll see that tonight. Andromeda. Andromeda is a great galaxy to see. You can actually see it even here with your naked eye. I wear glasses, and I can see it in the sky. But don't get me wrong, I know where to look. I go like this, and I put a what's it called up in the look right there. Do you see anything? Some people go no. I hand them a pair of binoculars, and they see a fuzzy blur, a little blur. But all they're seeing is, and I'm trying to get out of the way so everybody can see, they're only seeing this core of Andromeda. Through a telescope, you'll see a little bit bigger section, but you will never see from here to all the way over here because, again, long exposure. That's a whole nother subject. It takes a lot of talent, and it's not snap, snap, snap. It's snap, open up the iris on your camera, let it look in space for, in this particular case, probably like, that's a lousy picture. I would say 3 minutes. But if you let it go longer, it captures more light that comes into the lens and actually puts it out to the computer. So, whole nother subject. My favorite, absolute favorite, Horsehead Nebula. See the horse? Again, long exposure, but it's 1,500 light years away. This happens to be a picture of mine, okay? And again, the picture that I took was light that was emitted from that object 1,500 years ago. Any, no questions? Hopefully I'm not boring the heck out of you. This is an extremely interesting object. This is called the Crab Nebula. This is M1, Messier 1. It was documented in Chinese writings in 100 AD that they could see it during the day because it is a supernova. It went a star exploding. Okay, it's actually what they called at that time a planetary nebula. They thought it was a planet exploding. It isn't a planet exploding, it's a star going supernova. Orion. The Orion Nebula, in a telescope, you can see a good portion of it. I like to call it a mitten with the thumb, and you could, once you look at it, you can almost see the thumb and a mitten on. Witch head. Maybe you might even see, has anybody seen stuff moving in the sky over your head? Yeah? And what is it?
Planes.
No, it's a satellite. We, on a good clear night, we see them all the time here. And they'll be moving, and we always try to point them out to people. It's very interesting. In this particular case, you might think that might be a satellite or a star, but no. It went from here to here. It's a Tesla. Elon Musk put a Tesla up in space in 19, forgotten what it was. It was 1997 or whatever. End results is that that's still in space. Maybe one of you guys, when you become an astronaut, if that's what your true aim is, you could be doctors or nurses or doctors or technicians or engineers, but you might be able to go up into space one time. If you can bring back that Tesla, I can guarantee you'll be a quadruple billionaire in a heartbeat. Somebody will buy it. You might even run into these guys. Who knows? Who knows? I don't want to run into a walking tree. Not only that, I'm a little bit, even though it works for her, but even a green lady or some monstrous or talking raccoon, who knows? Design, so on and so forth, just what I explained. One of the things you can also look at, which I've always found very interesting, was a show called exactly this, Exploration Outer Space. They talk about jobs, careers, all kinds of stuff about outer space. They don't have it on TV anymore, so you'd have to look it up online and maybe get it. Watch. It's so cool. Who has apps on their phones that looking in the sky? 1, 2, 3. There are a lot of apps out there that really. One is one of my favorites. Is Sky Chart, which will let you to see, the constellations and so on and so forth. That was another thing. There was a bunch of Greek guys sitting around a fire, partaking in whatever, but they saw the star, and somebody said, "It looks like a crab." I'm sorry, that's one heck of an imagination, but that's stuck. That's cancer. My favorite again is Stellarium, because Stellarium is also downloadable free to a mobile phone. I think you have to pay for it if you do it on a computer. But
Nope, it's free on a computer too.
What's that? Well, yeah, but the lines won't be there. Yes, we'll be able to possibly see some constellations this evening if the clouds go away. I know it's terrible, but inside we have what they call a planetarium. Okay, not planetarium,
Planisphere.
planisphere.
Starfinder.
Ah, whatever. I'm old. Give me a break. But you'll be able to put that in the sky once you learn how to use it and find things in space. Honest to God, you'll have so much fun. But with Stellarium, you'll be able to go like this and go, oh, there's Jupiter, and it'll point it out to you, and you can zoom in. It's a great program. This happens to be a shot of with Stellarium. Happens to be May of 2024. So that was what was up in the sky in 2024. So, and you can zoom into it, out of it. You might be going someplace like Arizona, or maybe overseas, Egypt. You can actually put in where you are, and it'll show you what's right over your head with Stellarium on your mobile device. There's your lines. What's this? Little Dipper. What's this? Big Dipper, otherwise known as Ursa Minor and Ursa Major. But look right here. Anybody know what that section is called? We call it, look at it all the time. Real loud, guys. No. That's the Big Dipper. That's called an asterism. It's only part of it. The other thing about this is really funny is if you look it up, I believe it's here, on Big Bear, it's a bear. Ursa Major, Ursa Minor, Big Bear, Little Bear. But when you look at the picture of what they drew up, it has a bear has a tail. Now the funny thing about that is, have you ever seen a bear with a tail? Yeah? I don't know what kind of bear you're looking at, but the story goes in American Indian folklore that a hunter went into the woods, was chased by a bear. He maneuvered around it, grabbed the bear by the tail, went like this and twirled him around, and boop, here's the tail. That's why bears don't have tails. Look it up. Equipment. I like to talk about equipment now. Astronomy for beginners. One of the best things you can do, because it's very portable, is a pair of binoculars. They're very good, and once you learn where to look, you'll be able to use those binoculars to see stars, to see the moon, to see other planets. But again, the power of binoculars aren't that as good as the telescopes we have here or you might have at home. They're portable, they're light, and all that. So you might want to go to a garage. If you don't have binoculars, maybe encourage your parents to take you to a garage sale, and you might buy them. I've bought them for $5, $10, and I've given them away. Don't buy these. They're too small. I'm just letting you know they're too small. You're not going to see much other than across the street. But that's too big. No, I have no idea where that was. I personally think somebody made that photo. Duh. These are just about the right size. And again, at the time that I put this slide together, yes, you could buy it for $49. Not today. Today, you're going to probably wind up spending about $80 to $100 for a decent pair of binoculars. This is Andromeda, again, short, maybe about 15-second exposure, but that's Andromeda. And as you can see, the brighter area is what the area that I told you could see with your naked eye or with a pair of binoculars with no problem. You'll see a fuzz. It's just a fuzz in space. Again, this is Andromeda. telescopes. There's all different types of telescopes. When you're looking through the telescopes here, if we have an opportunity tonight, I'm still looking up. They work differently, and you can see different stuff in them. So you might want to try a friend's telescope or look through that to actually see. Maybe you might want to buy one at one point in time. Other things that are you can buy an inexpensive telescope like this, and they're very good for planets, for large, very intense nebula and star clusters. Be a little bit of distance, but at least you're starting your travels into the hobby of astronomy. A little bit better telescopes. These are computerized telescopes. Mine looks like this, where once you learn how to set it up properly and everything, you can actually just punch it on in, and boop, it'll move right to it for you. As long as you set it up properly, and again, it's not planting it on the ground. There's a little bit of a routine. It takes a little time to learn, but it's not that hard. It really isn't. I learned. I started my hobby in astronomy 15, 18 years ago, okay? And I didn't know what I was doing. But again, I learned it all here. And getting involved with an organization like this, or a friend that might know a little bit more, just keep your mind open, and I guarantee you're going to have a ball. Don't buy a telescope that big. That one's a real big one. That guy had it in a small, medium-sized SUV. It collapses. And then when he gets to where he wants to go, he has to put on poles and then put the drapery on it, so on and so forth. It's a little bit more involved than just setting up a simple telescope that you might have bought at Walmart. Cool thing about astronomy, it's good for your age, my age, and I will tell you, I'm 71 years old. So I'm having a ball, enjoying talking to people like you. There's me sitting in the snow, actually doing some astrophotography or setting up for astrophotography. We do a lot of our pictures in the dark. Why? Because we can't see the stars during the day, except for one, and that's our sun. So as you can see, it's a cool hobby, and we have a ball with it. Look at this poor guy. That's snow piled up. We shoveled it out of the way so we could actually put our telescopes up. I mean, and of course, it's good viewing even during the summer months. This we would consider summer, but I quit. I quit when I was into the astrophotography a lot. I quit at 19 degrees. I'm sorry, it got a little too cold. But here's a group. We get a whole bunch of people here on a good, clear night on a Saturday. If you happen to come back and it's good, it's clear, no moon, we'll have 100 people here. Easy. 2019, we had a total visitor count on Saturdays only of 2,537, I believe it was. 37 visitors, Saturdays only from April till October.
Give or take a small child or two.
No, I counted small children. No. Okay, here, everybody's looking up in the sky like over here. Okay, they were watching the International Space Station fly over. It was extremely cool. One of my first times. You're here. We have 7 telescopes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We open them up almost on a regular basis on a good, clear night. So come back. Next weekend is our last weekend. If you happen to come back with your parents next weekend,
tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Be in costume. We have to have Chris turn that light thing back on. And again, there's lots to see in space, even in New Jersey. We are one of the darker areas within New Jersey. There's a lot of places that you can go to. Next time you go to Arizona, New I have friends of mine, and I've been in Aruba, and I went down there to see what was down there. Hands up. There we go. How many galaxies? Google it. I don't know. Lots and lots of galaxies. There's
If people also have questions, we have a stand mic set up. It has a very dim, dying red flashlight keychain on it.
okay.
So if you wanted to ask questions, you could also ask them through there.
So right now, I tried to make this short and sweet so we can go out by the telescopes, at least look at telescopes. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak with you. I hope it was okay. Now, any questions? Here's a microphone. Come on up. Ask the question. Settle down. Don't come out of your seats that fast. No questions?
Ain't no one sprinting.
Oh my gosh. If you want to hear your voice on there, go ahead. Yeah, please. Come on, you're halfway up anyway. No? There you go. We're doing a live feed, so people online will be able to hear you also.
Oh, great.
Thousands
What?
upon thousands of people.
All
Okay.
5.
5?
Yeah, there's 5 people
Oh, cool.
online.
Okay.
Okay, please.
I was wondering, because I did a research paper on the Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. Do you have any, do you have any, info on that?
Aurora Borealis what?
The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall.
Hercules Borealis Great Wall?
Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall. I have never heard of that, and that is not surprising because astronomy is a gigantic field.
No, I have never heard of it.
I did a research paper
So-
on it.
So maybe what we need to do
Oh,
is have you come and give a talk on that because that actually sounds interesting.
We had a.
What is that?
oh,
Yeah,
hold on,
please.
yeah.
No.
Okay.
Describe it to us, please.
So as of now, it's the largest formation of galaxies in our known universe. It's 7 billion light years wide, 13 billion light years thick.
We got to look this up. This is looking. This
That
is
sounds neat.
Yeah.
I am going to
Yeah.
Google that when I get home.
Thank you.
The Corona Borealis Great Wall.
Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall.
That's a
Or
mouthful.
HCB, I think. Hercules Corona. Yeah, HCB.
Very good. See. You stumped us all.
But-
Corona Borealis Great Wall.
Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall.
Jim? What? Exactly. I don't know. So either way, no, that's good. We're going to look it up. Thank you for that question because now I have something to learn about. Thank you. I don't know. Any others? Please.
What was the biggest galaxy you've ever seen?
The largest galaxy I have ever seen is Andromeda. Andromeda, the picture of Andromeda, just for your information, I'm going to go back to that picture if I can, because that was it. I want to get the other one. It was a better picture.
That's actually a good question because there are many galaxies that would appear smaller than that, but might be bigger. They just appear smaller because they're farther away. That's actually a really good question.
In this particular case, on this particular object, which is the Andromeda Galaxy, believe it or not, guys, from here to here, 3 full moons large in the sky.
How many light years?
How many light years? 2.3 million light years away. Good questions. No, wonderful. No, don't be embarrassed. That's great. Next, please.
For reference,
Come.
we were asking about the size of the Andromeda Galaxy in the sky.
What was the biggest star you ever seen?
Biggest star I've ever seen? Sirius. But again, You got to remember, we're looking at things that are very, very far away. So we can have a dot like this in the sky, and it could be 100 million times, well, not 100, thousands upon thousands of times, even larger than our sun. Please. Close.
How did that I forgot it.
Andromeda.
How did it get its name?
How did it get its name? Google it.
A-
I don't know.
A lot of things
this
that
young
were
lady had her hand
visible
up. Did you wanna
were
ask?
named in ancient times, and they just kind of stuck.
Yeah.
The galaxy.
Why'd you start astronomy? Why'd you start doing astronomy?
Why did I start doing astronomy? Wonderful question. Brings into me. Okay, number one. Friend of mine happened to call me down. He says, "Hey, come on down, have a soda," and he's 2 doors down away from me. Right? So I go over to his house. He happens to be a garbage man in East Hanover, New Jersey. So how's it going, Paul? He says, fine. I picked up a telescope. Somebody had it set out at the curb, so I picked it up. They were throwing it away. So he brought it home. Really? He says, yeah, it doesn't work. Well, 1, you're a garbage man. 2, he threw it away. So good chance it's got. Do you still have? Yeah, it's right inside. He brings it out and he puts it down. And with that, with one of the designs I showed earlier. No, it's after this. I'm using my pictures as reference so you'll be able to understand. Come on. No. Come on. I don't know where it is in my presentation. I don't remember. Yeah. I apologize for the delay, guys. Because it's better if you see it to understand it. Ah, bingo. He brought out a telescope like this. Notice he didn't have this on there, but that was the eyepiece area also. And he brought it out. He says, "There's the moon." That's what it doesn't work. It's all blurry. I can't even. Do me a favor, step away from the telescope. What do you mean? Step away from the telescope. I knew nothing about telescopes, but I went like this. Did you want to see the moon? The hole, he had this end pointed up. That's not where the hole is. That's just like this telescope. That's the hole. There's nothing in the back. There's a mirror back there inside the tube. And he had the wrong end pointed into the sky. So with that, I borrowed it a couple of times to show the kids in my immediate neighborhood the moon, because that's all I knew at that time. And that's how I got started with astronomy. Anything else? No other questions. Oh, right here. You get to hear yourself.
Oh yeah. What is your favorite Messier object and why?
What is my
Favorite Messier object and why?
why?
Yeah.
Horsehead Nebula.
Why?
Why? A horse's head.
Okay.
Okay. And I mean, there's
He likes horses.
again, Horsehead Nebula is really good. Again, because I took a picture of it. Mind you, you can't really see it with a telescope that well. Okay, in a real dark area, you might be able to make out a little bit of it. Orion Nebula, also. But the first object that really got me hooked after I bought my first telescope, Saturn. I looked at Saturn and it was not edge on. I
But
could
that
see
is also not a Messier object.
It's not a Mercier object, but that's how I got my favorite. Favorite, again, Orion, Horsehead Nebula, Andromeda, M13. I mean, I could go on. I like them all. Okay, it's just great looking at it and then realizing how far away they are. Right here.
Why did they send the car to space?
How do you, what?
Why did they send the car to space?
1-800, call Elon Musk. Why? Because he owned the company and he could send it in space.
He was so
And
concerned whether he could that he didn't stop and think whether he should.
it didn't matter. He was going to do it anyway.
What's one nebula that you're hoping to see for yourself?
For myself, well, let's make it this way. I'm not going to physically be able to see it for myself. You mean go there and see it?
Yeah.
Go there and see it? It's going to be a couple of 100 years before we can
Like,
do that.
I mean, like, see it from Earth.
Using a telescope.
Through a telescope?
Yeah.
Again, Horsehead Nebula. Horsehead Nebula. Now, before I go any further, I've been saying nebula, and again, planetary nebula. A planetary nebula, as I explained earlier, they thought it was a planet going poof. No, it's a star that went poof. End results is that we still call it a planetary nebula, even though we know it was a star that exploded. The other one is a regular nebula. Now, you, here. I'm a nebula, okay? I'm standing here. I'm bigger than you. I have more mass. Slowly but surely, you're going to come closer and closer because I got more gravity. So you're going to come closer to me. End results are, and you become part of that, the mass that is collecting. End results are, when you get to about 10 times or much larger than our sun, gravity collapses that matter all together like this, and then a fusion reaction happens, and a star is born. And a nebula is where that happens. Horsehead Nebula, the nebula which is called the Crab Planetary Nebula is the opposite. Once it uses up all its matter or all its energy, it just blows off the outer atmosphere of the star, and that creates the shapes that we see.
How many years have you been doing this?
How many years? About 15, 18 years I've been doing this. And I'm a youngster considering some of the people. Jim, you here? No, he's gone. All right. Some guys here have been doing it for 30, 35, even 40 years. Okay? So I've learned everything that I've talked about here, everything I know about astronomy, 99.9% of it I learned here from the individuals like Miss Kim and Mr. Chris inside and Mr. Jim. I learned a lot from them. So just like your teachers, talking to you about various things, processes, even math, okay? But end results are you take what you get and learn from it and see how you can use it within your own lives. No more?
We did have one online question.
Uh-oh.
They were looking for their 6-year-old son has a growing interest and an obsession with getting their first telescope. What type of telescope do you recommend for them, and what to avoid?
Well, again, because your son is interested in a telescope, I would not go crazy. I would definitely go online. There are several sites that you can go to. One is called Cloudy Nights, and the other one is called Astromart, both of which where you can purchase used telescopes that somebody might have upgraded from, and you'd be able to get that inexpensively. Or you go to your local Walmart or even online, save a couple of dollars and buy one off Facebook. Key to the whole thing is, remember, you're buying a used telescope. That's fine. Real astronomers, don't play football with their telescope or don't take a baseball bat. End results is that you will be able to buy a nice telescope One would be a refractor, as I pointed out earlier. Another one is a Newtonian, which is the one I circled when I was talking about my friend, both of which are very good. So that would be a good first scope. And you can get that at Walmart or several places. If you look up, there's one in New Jersey here that is very good and very informative organization called High Point Scientific.
Based in High Point, New Jersey, in case you
It's
Didn't
close.
get
It's
that.
close to it. It's close to it. Wanted.
close enough.
There you go.
I would always suggest, if you're looking for a first scope, a Dobsonian style. It is literally, you set the base down, you put the telescope in the mount, and it has two options. You can turn this way, and you can go up and down. There's no setup, there is no polar aligning. I prefer the ones not on a tripod. Yeah, where's the picture of the huge monstrosity of a telescope? I think you passed it. Oh, no, go back.
Monstrosity? That one?
Yeah, so it's that style, but smaller.
Much smaller, as I just showed.
I suggest those just because of ease of use. I would stay away from cheap tripod ones, just because the tripods are unstable and will be frustrating. And if they're young, if you're young and you don't want to spend an hour setting up, Dobsonian style is the way to go, because I'm not like the astrophotographers where I want to spend, okay, and now I've polar aligned perfectly and 3-point aligned, made sure everything's level, and hooked everything up. Yeah, no, that's just not my speed. But the best way, try a whole bunch of different telescopes at your local astronomy club. Some of you might have closer astronomy clubs or different astronomy clubs available to you. I always encourage you checking those out. If you go onto our website, because I know a bunch of you must be coming from different areas. If you go onto our website, we do have a list of all our member clubs, and find the one that's closest to you. They have a whole bunch of different telescopes that you would be able to use and try out and look through, and that's free. Usually, using someone else's telescope until you figure out exactly what telescope you want.
There you go.
All right. Any more questions?
And I want to go look at telescopes.
Of course. Like I said, we are going to have a number of telescopes available to look through, because I know a couple of you got here a little later. If you need to use the restroom, that is the porta potty in the back. It's blue illuminated by red. We also have a little museum area and gift shop available. Like I said, do check us out on our website, uacnj.org. Also, our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Discord server. There's all links to that on our website. With that, have a good night, everyone. And hopefully the cloud's clear.
There you go. We're all done. Thank you for allowing me to talk to you guys.